thanks, guys. We're back. Luke Bowe in the house. Luke, good to have you here today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I see you sporting that Bear shirt, right?
That's about all I got now.
Well, and a good haircut.
Yeah. Well, thanks
So
to Kay.
before we
Thanks to
talk
Kay.
about all that other stuff, I want you just to announce to everybody out there tuning in today, where's the best place in the NFL you ever worked, Luke Bowe?
Chicago Bears.
Don't say that.
Hey,
What's the temperature in Chicago right now?
Probably -5.
And where do you think it is in Tampa?
It's probably 70.
What's the best place you ever worked at?
The best weather, the best climate was definitely Tampa.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
I
All right, that's all I
I've
need.
enjoyed my time both places.
and he got to work with the goat.
Yeah, he did work with the GOAT. So one thing I would ask, with your experience at the Bears, first of all, we appreciate you taking time out today and maybe spend some time with us here in the next couple months, and we'll keep tackling a few of those thoughts and questions in the NFL. But so the Bears had a really turbulent year. It went up and down, and then at the end it sounded like and looked like, hey, we're kind of getting our feet under us, and we got some stuff, a lot of controversy. Justin Fields went, public to the press, and that created a little bit of drama here or there. But they leveled out, seemed to find their niche, and was able to put points on the board and do some things. And personally, I feel like at the quarterback position, he stepped up and really finished strong. The question is Justin Fields going to stay with the Bears? Will they re-sign him? Are they going to draft one? What's the word on the street?
Well, I don't want to.
We don't want to put you in a position.
For the sake of my job, I won't say
Yeah.
much of that. But I know that.
I mean, you're hearing all that too, right?
Yeah, I mean, this thing is like, nobody knows at the end of the day. It's just like any other job. You don't want anybody to leave, because turnover is hard and stuff like that, especially after you get close with everybody. But, I know that the team kind of found its identity halfway down the stretch, and we started playing harder. And, that's the testament to Coach Flus. And I know the players play hard for him. He's a player's coach. In terms of, I personally, Justin's a great guy. I get to specifically work with the quarterbacks, and I'm almost his practice receiver during
I
practice.
tell you what's always surprising to people is how big Justin Fields is. Like on the field around those other people, he just blends in. But you see him one-on-one, like he's a big dude.
Oh, he's a huge guy, and he's a peak athlete, and when you see him walk into a room, he's somebody.
But the thing I admire about him was he never got down. He still believed in himself, and he's a tremendous athlete.
That's the thing about Justin. He's even keel. You can't knock him, but he's also a great dude. Last week we had our end of the year banquet for our equipment staff, and him and DJ Moore both surprised us, and they walked into the restaurant we were at, and they walked around the room and told everybody, what they appreciated
Wow.
did for them, and they stayed for about an hour almost. And
Yeah,
took pictures
man,
with
y'all
everybody.
stole DJ Moore from the Panthers. I
Yeah,
mean, stole him.
He's another one. He's a freak athlete. Sitting at practice, I was telling everybody all year, like I've seen Julio Jones, Mike Evans in Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
and they're greats, but
Yes, they are.
But watching DJ Moore, I don't think anybody made it look as easy. And I've never seen him make it look as
So
easy.
all year, every time I watched DJ Moore play, I could just imagine him going back home, watching SportsCenter and seeing the Panthers play and just looking up to the skies and say, thank you, God, for getting me out of this mess down there. I mean, he revived his whole career. He's got to be all-pro. I mean, he had a tremendous year. And on top of that, he came with a number 1 draft pick for the Panthers this year.
He did.
So I'm gonna answer the question to get you off the hook with your team with regard to what your thoughts are. KJ Henry was on here talking to us last week, and he said, I'll be honest with you, we never know. We hear it on ESPN just like everybody else. So people in the organization, it's a very tight group. Whatever they're doing in the front office, they're going to do that. When you know. But until then, it's just speculation.
I'll say one thing about in the NFL. At the end of the day, it's still like
A business.
It's still a business. It's still a job. We got I know my job in the equipment staff is we always have stuff to do. The trainers always have stuff to do. I don't really find out anything's happening until I get home and turn on the TV, like he said.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of those deals. You just kind of stay in your lane. If you don't know what's going on, you're probably doing something right.
Yeah, I'm curious to know in your position like that you do there, and you work with all those folks, especially quarterbacks, receivers, all those things. Quickly describe what your daily activities, from start to finish.
Right. So first and foremost, I'm in equipment, so I'll get there early in the morning. Start we do the laundry for the whole entire building. Start the laundry for that, and then I'll go out. And
Does
set
your
up-
mama know that? Like when you come home and you got to do your own laundry, or is she going to do it?
Well, that's when I get a break from laundry.
Oh, my God.
I do my own laundry at home too, but that's when I get a break from laundry. So, but no, I'll go out there and set up the field for practice. Put all the pads and stuff out, and I'll set up all the individual periods stuff we'll have and team periods and stuff, and then we'll go out to practice. I'll get to practice and I'll warm Justin up, warm Tyson up, and then warm Nate up, our other quarterbacks, and I'll sit there and talk with the coaches, figure out what we're doing for the day. And then once practice starts, I'm out there running routes because the receivers do their own individual.
That's how you
period.
stay in such good shape. They run you down.
I tried to. It didn't come fast. Early on, I struggled a little bit. It's hard to catch passes from NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah, they got some zip on it.
You throw out here with my dad in the yard. It's nothing like catching from Justin. The one thing I will say, the first month I was doing it, I jammed every single finger on both hands.
Yeah.
And
Todd don't throw as hard as Justin.
no, he thinks he does, but he don't. I actually had to go see Dad and get my
Get your
my
fingers
hand-
straight?
Yeah, I actually had to do some treatment and then
Get out of here,
Yeah, I
Luke.
did, but it's almost like you had to break every single finger in.
But you didn't show him you was
You
in
got to
pain.
tape them.
No.
Hey, you got to tape them joints and everything.
I know
man.
you can't show them you're in pain though. But I will say I went through a pair of gloves every week because nobody was catching more passes. I will say this: nobody caught more passes there than I did all year in practice.
You
'cause
leading receiver,
That's
wasn't
what I had to do
Yeah.
every day.
And what people don't understand is you have all that, and then after practice, the good athletes stay after and say, "Hey, Justin, when you catch me up some."
Yep, and that's honestly what I'm doing too, because they want to get their own reps in. They want to throw the ball more, so I'm sitting out there catching more passes.
They want to throw more, and the receivers want to catch more. So
Right.
I know at Tampa you work with Julio and some
Yeah.
other folks down there, and the same thing. They want. They're professionals. They're
are.
trying to really just strengthen their game.
And they don't stop. That's the thing about these professional athletes. They don't stop. They don't stop when they've really peaked, or you think they've peaked. They keep going, and that's where the greats. That's where the greats come. Julio was on the jugs every day after practice in Tampa, and he's the great he is. And one guy I did like when I was in Tampa was Antoine Winfield.
Yeah.
He was my guy. He ended up signing a jersey for me and stuff after camp. So it was really
Yeah, I
cool.
appreciate you getting me some of that stuff down there.
No, he surprised me with it, but he was one of those guys where I would be waiting because he would sign every single autograph
Yeah.
after every practice.
And that's the kind of people you like. They give them back.
And
But-
he'd sit there and I'd shoot jugs to him after every practice, and then after we shoot jugs, he'd sit there and for 10-15 minutes just talk about life. He's one of those dudes.
yeah, I'm gonna throw it to Den so I don't hog
Yeah,
up all
no,
the
you're
time.
good.
No, you good, Danny. You good. Who throws harder?
the answer
40-year-old
to that one.
Tom Brady or the young Justin Fields?
Oh, Justin has some zip on it.
Does he?
He don't throw the fastest on the team, but he throws it hard enough.
Uh-huh.
One thing one thing I appreciate about those guys, I got a Christmas card in the year, and bought from one of the quarterbacks, and he was saying that I had the most improved hands on the team. And I was like, that. I don't
That's
know
pretty
if
good.
that's
You need to keep
compliment
that.
or they're saying that I was
You
that
need
bad
to
early on.
Hey, it's just nice that they got your card though.
Yeah, they're good dudes.
Luke, Bo, I am gonna ask something from you. I hope you got some kind of Chicago Bears gear or something.
We
And
need to get it on the wall.
we want you to sign it, and we're gonna give it to Flip so he can put it on out here
Yeah, I got
somewhere
something. I'll
for us.
find something.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
find
for
something
sure.
for us so we can sign it. Cause you're like you said, you're running routes and stuff and doing stuff that the NFL athletes are doing, but you're out there with them, and I'm sure they treat you just like their buddy.
That's the thing, before you get into the industry, you look at everybody like, man, that's such and such. That's Justin Fields. That's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And like that's still the case. They're still, one of a kind, but early on, these guys start treating you. They treat me like we're all people,
Yeah, yeah.
and we're one of the guys, we small talk, we talk in the locker room, we talk about stupid stuff like we
Yeah.
do with my buddies here. So
Yeah.
it's just
I mean, you're part of the team.
yeah, it is, and that's truly what's cool about it. Not many people. We work some insane hours. I was telling Kay, we work some crazy hours. But
I don't want to hear that. You're off for like 3 months now,
well,
right?
It's like college.
You like them.
college break.
You like them school teachers, man. Oh my gosh, can we make it to the end of the year and
Yeah.
then you're off 3 months?
Yeah, well, Casey, him and Casey and Grant. After the game, they came to the Panthers game, and after the game, I didn't get home till 4 a.m.
Wow.
And just doing laundry.
That's
and
crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's stuff that people don't see.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot to it.
But it's a trade-off. It has the best benefits, the best perks of any job, and you could ever really imagine. So
Wow.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome. But We're proud of you down
appreciate
here.
it.
We're proud of you, and I think your sister's doing the same thing, ain't she?
Yeah, so Morgan she's doing athletic training. She's down in Alabama right now. She just finished at Liberty. She's doing an internship with the football team at Alabama right now.
Oh, is she?
And so when she gets done in May, she's going to Baylor for grad school. She got accepted to grad school there. And
Oh,
she's
wow.
gonna do
Wow.
her clinicals
That's
there.
awesome.
Wow,
Wow.
congrats to her.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
She's killing it. She's killing
Did
it.
she get to meet Nick Saban before he
So
left?
she did it in the summer.
Oh, did
So
she?
she's coming back for. It's almost they're having her back, but she didn't really. I don't know if she really got to meet her.
Yeah.
Or not, but they're
We're-
switching up. They got a whole new staff there now. But she,
Alabama?
yeah, she
Wow.
loves it down there, and
Okay.
yeah, she's really rocking.
Now
it
back to
out.
this football stuff. I want you to think about that conference that the Bears are in next year. So let's go through
Yeah.
that. So the Bears got some decisions to make, but at the end of the year they're coming on. Detroit, I think is right there as good as anybody in NFL right now. The Packers
Solid.
matured a lot in the last 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did they have some receivers that were hurt, but they put some people in there that stepped right up and made it happen.
Right.
Love has really displayed that he can play that position.
Mm-hmm.
The Minnesota Vikings, quarterback, they'll figure that out. Justin Jefferson, they got a lot of different guys out there. Addison, all those folks. That's going to be a tough conference next year. It might be. Every year everybody says the NFC East, blah blah blah. They out quick, but that conference right there might be as good a conference as anybody.
gonna be
next
tough.
year.
It's
It's
really
going to be
competitive.
tough.
It's really competitive. It's a lot of teams who have almost the same build, the same roster build. A bunch of teams that are young, and they can play good defense, and they can win in many different ways.
Last question I got for you, Luke Bo. Chicago is the meat industry of the United States. That's where all the cattle come. That's where all the stuff come.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one restaurant, steakhouse, the best steakhouse in Chicago, where is
Gosh.
Man, only Danny Hips would know all this, wouldn't he?
it? So listen, man, Chicago is. You got Jordan's 23. He's got restaurants. The former coach has got a place there. I mean, it is the mecca of steaks apparently in Chicago, because that's where all the meat packing started off way back when. That's a history lesson, but yeah,
I need to find me some good steakhouse. 'Cause I really just go out and get
man,
pizza.
go to Ditka's, man.
Ditka's, okay.
That's what John. I bet John. We talk about pizza a lot, don't John?
yeah.
Loves some pizza. He
Good
said-
pizza up there.
Chicago.
Best pizza you'll ever have.
Yeah,
is
that's
in
deep
Chicago.
dish,
Yeah,
right?
it's deep dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they. I know they had it. The boys
Yeah.
had it. They.
Yeah, how's
they
that?
Came out. They didn't know what it was.
Yeah, how's that windy breeze coming downtown Chicago?
Oh, it's tough.
It's rough,
I tell
man.
you what, man. It's.
Cleveland and Chicago to me are two of the
It
coldest
really is.
places in
And
the country.
if we played in Cleveland this year, and we got to go to Dog Pound, and it was like 50 degrees outside, but the wind made it was like under 20. I swear,
it's
it was
crazy,
bad.
man. It's
And
crazy. Sure,
right there on that lake, it's tough.
John, you have a question for Luke Bo?
Is there is there any way you could get me an autographed picture of Justin Fields? Because I'm a big Ohio State fan.
Oh, really?
Why didn't I
Yeah.
think of that?
Yeah.
I mean, daggum, man. I've been sitting here.
Oh,
always-
there you go, Luke Bo.
I've talked with
Yeah.
him. I've talked with him.
All right,
I've talked with him.
appreciate that.
John is a big Ohio State
Oh, yeah.
fan. He honestly, and we was talking about number one pick and this and that, but me and John agreed they ought to keep Justin Fields and go get Marvin Harrison Jr.
So I
And
think
you line him up with DJ Moore.
I think
Serious.
it's going to be a lot of head scratching on what they're going to do, because the top two quarterbacks, USC and I think North Carolina, believe it or not, I think their
Drake
quarterback
May.
will go.
Drake
I
May.
think
I
Drake
just
May.
I don't think Caleb is as good as Justin.
No.
It's a big difference. Bryce Young was
So
magnificent
even
at Alabama.
if he is, he's still got a 2-year learning curve.
Yeah.
Everybody isn't going to be C.J. Stroud when they come into the league. I promise you. And there's some adjustments to make. And I'm not saying Caleb wouldn't be good for it, because he's demonstrated that. But I will tell you, I think that just that trajectory with the Bears and Fields in those last 6 games, I think that they could find enough things in there to see that, hey, we can work with that.
And just like Jordan Love, I mean, he learned from Aaron Rodgers. He sat. Nobody's sitting. Nobody's talking about like.
And Aaron Rodgers learned from Favre.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
I
you.
mean-
I think. But you got to go to a team that has somebody intact, and that way you can sit and watch and learn. I mean, Bryce Young, who was he going to learn from? Who was the backup? The redhead, wasn't it, from
Yeah.
Dallas? That come from Dallas.
Yeah.
Andy
Andy
Red-
Dalton.
The Red Rocket.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Red Rocket. I mean, he probably could have taught. I'm sure he's taught Bryce Young, but when you have no offense, I've always said
I
you
could
gotta
have
it
taught
starts up
Dennis. I
front.
could have taught Bryce Young run,
Yeah,
run fast,
run backwards.
Listen, by the time he had the ball,
Yeah, I
listen,
did
I don't
feel
know what
sorry.
he is going to be or what he's not going to be, but I will tell you, it's not a fair assessment with the line that they had.
No, it
he's
wasn't
running
fair.
for his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Luke Bo, we appreciate you coming by and talking to us and
Yeah.
Hey, don't let him go yet. I need the predictions for this
okay.
weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you know something about these teams now.
I'm not calling predictions. I can't do that.
Well, can you tell us who you're pulling for in these games? I'll do it for you. So right now we got Kansas City and Baltimore. All right, so just straight football, not favorites, anything. I think Baltimore's defense will be a challenge for Kansas City, but I also think that Kansas City, they got the mojo until somebody convinces you other.
Hey, what did Ric Flair always say?
To beat a champ, you got to beat the champ.
Yeah,
And so that's going to be a good game, but I really think that if all things go normal, Baltimore's going to win that one. Now, I will tell you, the Lions, for me, in your division against San Francisco, at some point during this season, we said they were clicking on all cylinders, number one defense, number one offense. They are not the San Francisco 49ers without Debo.
no, they're not.
If
They're
Debo's not on the field, Purdy lost a lot of options.
Yeah.
And he did not play stellar. He didn't play bad this weekend. He did what it needed to win, but he did not go up above. But I will tell you, Debo is a big factor. And the Lions can hurt you in so many ways. They can run the ball. They got two great running backs. Gibbs with the speed, Singletary with the power. You got Amar St. Brown. You got Laporta. My gosh, man, where'd he come from?
Yeah.
I mean, you got all kinds of weapons. They got a rookie defensive end up there. It's wreaking havoc. They got interior linemen. I will tell you, Detroit is in the game.
I like to see Detroit and Baltimore in the Super Bowl, but I think it's gonna be hard to beat San Fran at San Fran.
I think, listen, all the bad teams are gone.
Yeah.
Everybody that's in there now earned it, deserved it, and they're all pretty good. But I would agree. I'd like to see the Lions and Baltimore, and then I'd like to see the Lions win so we don't have to listen to Derek Rogers talk about them Ravens. But other than that, yeah. So
John, who you got, John?
I got Baltimore and San Francisco.
Yeah, John's caught it all year.
I'm going with the Lions.
Lamar Jackson and
That way I can say my Bucks got beat by the champs.
yeah, yeah.
That's yeah. Well, the refs did, but
What
we'll
can
we'll let you take that.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that,
Man,
you
that-
always see number 70. Is it Skipper? Is that his name?
Yes.
He always, when he comes in, he makes sure he goes straight to the referee.
So listen, they did that right. They screwed that up, and this is straight out of the NFL right here. That crew got suspended for the playoffs.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Oh,
They were
wow.
not allowed to get a playoff game. They screwed it up bad.
Wow.
I mean, they screwed it up bad.
Jerry Jones probably helped and paid some of that.
Well, he better pay somebody to come and coach his team and get some players because they're a hot mess. I don't know if you heard this morning, but, I hear like on Twitter or Facebook or something that Dak's people and CD's people and somebody else's people,
Oh,
they're
yeah, I
all
did see
fussing
that.
and fighting.
Yeah, I
I'm
did
like,
see.
man, they got drama in the offseason, winning, got out of playoff shit. They're a hot mess.
I like Dak, so I think he just gets to. I like
Listen,
Dak.
they cannot
I
blame it on
do.
Dak. Dak had a really good year. CD Lamb, unbelievable year.
You can't blame that game with Detroit. You can't blame that on Dak. The defense that never. Jordan Love never got touched.
Them
They could
people
do it
that
whenever they wanted.
people that say defense wins championships, they're right.
Oh,
Now,
it
in
is.
that Buffalo Kansas City game, I couldn't find a defense. I mean, it was
No.
last person that had the ball was probably going to win. And you know what? That's how it is.
One thing I will say, in these guys in the NFL, they're all professional athletes. These are all wonderful, great teams. All these guys are in the less than 0.1% of athletes in this planet. Like anybody can be beat. That's why the coolest thing about the NFL is you get to watch the best guys, and any given Sunday, is what people say.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that is an injury here or there makes a difference because that next person that's coming in is an unbelievable athlete, but they're not necessarily in the same level of knowledge with all the other stuff, the reps that they had as like a Debo. I don't know how you're not going to replace Debo and the Niners are not going to have a person to put in there that's going to have as big an impact on that. So, down the stretch, an injury here, injury there could make a huge difference.
I think, and what you say, Dan, is like it's a big difference between that first string quarterback and a second string quarterback in the NFL. Like, it's a big difference.
So it's a huge difference because, the backup quarterback does get some reps, but he don't get the reps that everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't simulate game time in practice as much as you can just that experience of the game.
Yeah.
And it's really that nervous energy that you got. Once you get that out of there and you're able to calm down and let the game kind of come to you, yeah, but it's hard to walk out there and feel – Brady just got knocked out. Let me go out here and feel his shoes.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's real tough. Even like a center, like the other day in the Bucs game, the Detroit Lions center went down early. And I was like, oh, we might have a chance now because that corrupts. It messes up everything if that timing's off.
Yeah.
It is a well orchestrated. Every play is designed to score a touchdown, and everybody has a job to do, and it comes off synchronized. And if it does, it works, and if not, you're going back. So it's crazy.
Luke, I got a question that all the fans want to hear. Did you get to see Taylor Swift at the game the other day?
No, but I don't care if that I didn't see her. No
But
comment on that, but I didn't see her.
okay,
Yeah.
I
How
didn't
about
know.
the Bills fans though? Like
I
they're
tell you what.
unbelievable.
I tell you what. Those, I'm not. That's not biased or anything, but they have the best game atmosphere I've ever been to. I've been a couple times, but these guys, all they have is the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. They got
My favorite part of the game is when they were throwing snowballs at Mahomes.
it's funny. But they don't care.
No,
They
they don't
put
care.
signs up on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But that's what they have. They have the Bills, and they're obviously the Bills came short the last few years, but that's all they care
Did you
about.
say
the Bills.
few?
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
that's-
Luke wasn't born when Jim
Man,
Kelly.
that was tough, but I will tell you, man, to stay that loyal that long, and sometimes it kind of works like that. Like there's some of those teams that's been around for a long time. Those fans are there for life. They're not. The Bears fans are one of them. The Packers, the Bills. The Cowboys. They ain't ever. they
But
still-
but Buffalo's been winning. Can you imagine being Detroit fan?
that's,
I mean,
I
they
can't even imagine.
And now look, that's why they're crying in the stands. I'd be crying too.
Yeah.
I'd be. You go 0-16 and then 1-15 for like 5 years in a row. and
Yeah.
then- can you imagine how they're
Yeah.
feeling right now to get to and maybe get to the Super Bowl?
It's it's things because some teams you just don't match up well too. And, to beat a team like the Chiefs, your best players have to play the best or perfect. You can't make mistakes. Andy Reid is a great coach. He's
Man,
going to outcoach
He,
everybody.
he
on-
is a
you know,
great coach.
He's going to outcoach a lot of people.
Can you
so-
believe that the Eagles got rid of Andy Reid? I'm
Man,
just
let's
saying.
not even go there, Danny.
I'm just saying. How do you?
But I
do
think
that?
I think before we go, I think that's going to be a great matchup. Harbaugh, I think Harbaugh's one of the good coaches out there, best coaches
Baltimore?
out there. Yes.
He's calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah. So
Man,
him against Andy Reid, that's
Yeah.
going to be a great matchup
I don't think
too.
I don't think
I mean,
Harbaugh gets the credit that.
No,
they
he
should.
don't.
He
He
don't.
don't. Because they always have a great defense.
They're talking about his brother coming to the NFL. He's not the same Harbaugh as that Harbaugh to me.
You don't think?
I think maybe football knowledge, all those things, but personality-wise
Yeah,
and level of calmness, they're definitely different.
But well, Luke, like we said, appreciate you stopping by and coming by and talking to us. And folks, we'll be back next week on Friday. So we're on Friday at lunchtime.
Friday.
No, Friday we're going at 10, right?
No, man, we're
Streaming live.
On Saturday.
Saturday,
But
10 o'clock, but we record.
we're on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So streaming live.
People won't see us on.
I don't
That is
know.
right. Don't turn in on
I don't
Friday.
know if people understand this or not, but me and Den, we just talk. DJ Free over here, he handles all the rest
Yeah,
of it. We just
okay,
stay out of his
okay.
way. Luke,
Hey,
glad
but
to
we
have you,
did go
man.
from streaming live to now not streaming live. So, hey, so just watch us on Saturday. Just watch us on
Hey,
Saturday.
before we go, I want to give a shout out to my Liberty Flames now.
Do it,
I don't
man.
know if
Hey.
you guys talk about them at all this year, but I know we came up short against Oregon, but we're just happy to be there. But we got a good program. And
Not just their football, their whole athletic,
athletic
program,
program,
their
yeah.
whole campus. It's like on fire.
I want to brag on
I
my
mean,
school a
I'm-
little
no
bit.
pun
We don't
intended.
get much brag, but I want to brag on them. We have a great quarterback over there who, might have a future on Sunday as well. So
Yeah.
and we got him back. He entered the portal, got him back. So
Good. So I will tell you, I watched him
Oh,
play
he entered the
basketball.
portal and-
He did.
and-
We
and
lost-
transferred back.
He did, but we lost our number 1 receiver, C.J. Daniel. He's going to LSU.
Oh, okay.
He's the real deal.
I did
But-
watch Liberty Flames play basketball the other night. They're not bad either.
No, we're not as good this year though. We don't have as much scoring. We lost our the best scorer in school history last year.
Yep.
But I will say this about about the football team, number 1 rushing offense in the country last year, and I know we had an easier schedule, but I feel like those rushing numbers are what they are.
Yeah, they're getting there, man.
We
They're-
run a cool triple spread option type deal. So
They're
it's
climbing
fun
the
to
charts
watch.
for
yeah,
sure.
we're-
Hey, way to
had-
give a shout out
I had
to
to
your
brag
alma
on-
mater.
had to brag
yeah, give
on
my
it.
alma
Yeah.
mater.
I also want to
Yeah.
thank John Dunbar for stopping by, coming all the way from Dallas, North Carolina.
John pisses me off. He comes in here every once in a while and gets a daggum, maybe a signed piece from Justin Fields. I mean, what's up with that?
Hey,
Hey,
Just picking. I'm
it's
just
all right.
picking,
It's
man.
all right. He's a Buckeye, so
Yeah, I wouldn't want no Buckeye jersey in my house.
There's a good
anyway,
reason to be
so.
proud of him. He's a good dude.
He is a good dude. Kudos and wish
well,
him the
Luke Bell
best.
said he gonna work on that.
That's
John,
right.
So.
That's right. That's right. All
Luke
right.
Bell, I want to make a trip to Chicago next year. with
Me
you
too.
guys.
Oh, come on,
I mean,
everybody,
Mate,
come on.
have
out.
we got the schedule yet? I mean, we can pick it
The
out.
opponents are out. The schedule's not out.
Nah, we don't
so.
play him. We don't play him. We don't play him. Philly don't play Chicago. So, but all right. Well, I appreciate y'all and catch us next time on the flip side.
Peace out.
Dips Barbershop Sports Talk, streaming live every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Subscribe today.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Flips Barbershop Sports Talk. Danny, what you think about this transfer portal going on in college football?
So, I don't keep up with it probably as much as I should. I'm not a big fan of that, but it is the game, and that's what it's going to be. I did hear that, there's a ton of Bama players that are bailing off.
Yeah, they are
of
leaving since
that.
Nick Saban is leaving.
Yeah,
he left. So.
and I think that we have a really another local person here that did that, and I would love to have him on here too. Johnson from Duke.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
Brandon
he's
Johnson.
going to
yeah,
the Ducks, right?
Going to Oregon, yes. Big.
And
That's a
good
big jump.
Oh, and
Big
good
jump.
for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be on the national stage,
Yeah.
competing for a national championship. So, I mean, kudos to him. He's well earned it. Really, probably could go in the draft this year and
Yeah.
go high. But wish him the best. But I think that it opens a lot of doors for people. But I don't know what it's doing to the game.
I read a little article. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. That a guy is frustrated for high school kids because it's hurting the high school recruitment. Because their teams are entering, going in the transfer portal and getting kids that's got experience and leaving out the high school, hurting high school recruiting. So
And it probably will. I just think you have to figure out which direction you're going. So, there's some big name schools who have not typically went to the portal.
Yeah.
They kind of brought their own in-house. But I will tell you that it changes the game.
but it's helping.
It-
It's helping the teams.
It's helping the teams, but really, Duke Blue Devils basketball program started at 10 years ago.
yeah.
They had a player for 1 year or 2 years, and then whenever they jumped to the NBA, they had already 10 more just like them coming in, but
Yeah.
they didn't have to go through a portal.
Yeah.
So what they were able to do because of that winning, now people can do that same thing.
Yeah.
They can, it used to be like you have a year where you're really building, and then the next year you're okay, and then for 2 years you're pretty good. You lose all that, you start back over.
Yeah.
Now it's instant gratification.
Yeah.
You can be good right now if you got the backers to pay that money.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah.
I mean, just not Brandon Johnson, but they got like 5 recruits from the transfer portal coming in. I mean, immediately going to help them, start really.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I mean-
it's crazy, and but it is what it is. That's what that game has turned to, and I don't know. I'm better with the portal than I am the bowl game scenario. I mean, it's a waste of time to go watch those
I
bowl
think
games.
I mentioned it to you, John, that I think I would put in that you could only transfer one time.
Yeah, I think that would help with a few circumstances.
Yeah.
Like for example, I know that people are going to dog, our wide receiver from North Carolina, He did it twice.
Yeah.
But one of them,
Well,
death in the
this-
family, and
yeah.
there were some circumstances.
Yeah.
So I think you can do it once, and then you can appeal for special circumstances to the NCAA.
No, yeah, I agree with that. John, what's your opinion on it?
Well, I'm going to brag a little bit because Ohio State got the safety from Alabama that was in the transfer portal.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's helping
And they
other
got
teams.
A 2024 quarterback that had committed to Alabama, and he jumped ship, and he's
Yeah.
coming to Ohio State. And we've got Will Howard from Kansas State. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's helping the Buckeyes.
it's
out.
going to help us. I mean, I don't know if it's going to put us over
Like
the
they
top.
need help. Come on.
Well, the last few years we have because we can't beat Michigan and we can't win a college football playoff game. And eventually that's going to catch up with Ryan Day if he doesn't start,
Yeah, you got to beat Michigan.
That's your goal,
You
is
gotta
beat Michigan, win the Big Ten.
One good thing for you guys, John, is Harbaugh might be leaving. So
Well, the thing about that is when your level's that high, when the bar is set so high that the only way you're going to be successful is to win a national championship.
Yeah.
It's a tough. I mean, ain't but 2 or 3 of them schools that's going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, the only other thing I'd ask about the portal is, if a person leaves that school that they gave them a scholarship, they're making that money.
Yeah.
I think they should at least have to pay back the school for the scholarship funds that they spent while there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I
me.
agree. But well, we going enough for the transfer portal.
Man,
Let's
I'm still
talk-
on football.
You still on football?
I'm still
and
on
and that's what
NFL
we're going to
football.
talk about. We're going to talk. What about these NFL coaching changes?
Man, they're all over the place. And, we talked about that last week. There was, it's like playing spades. What's your hand look like? Well, I got 6 and maybe 2 possibilities. And so we got 6 coaches are out, 2 more that might be out. Talking about this deal, that deal. I see where the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. I feel like Belichick in Atlanta.
You think he's going to
I
Atlanta?
do think he's there. He's had 2 interviews. Who you going to interview that's better than him? And I think that there's some things in the work. Atlanta's got a lot of good pieces, and he's going to a place, if that happens, where a couple things here or there, and they could do
The
something.
only thing they don't have a quarterback unless they got somebody in mind that's going to come in.
Well, they might. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
so-
going to be a few of those available too. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I keep hearing Justin Fields to Atlanta.
So I agree, and you got a top 5 running back.
Yeah.
You got
Tight end.
You
Great
got a
tight
tight
end.
end. You got a wide receiver who's coming around, had a pretty good year. Defensively they need some help. A lot of people do, but there's a lot of those. But I will tell you, the ones that jump off the map for me the most, and I'm not going to surprise anybody here, is lots of teams have options.
Yeah.
I don't see anything that's going to help the Panthers. Like I see it's like after a war and they put those reconstruction plans in for the next 5 years. It's going to take us back 5 years to get all the power lines, but it's going to take the Panthers at least 3 years. They have nothing coming in the draft. They sold out on the drafts with that trade with the Bears. They don't really have a line that can support the play of a quarterback or a running game or even a passing game. Their defense, I'll give them a heads up. They're okay on that, but they're hurting everywhere.
Tepper has money. He
So
better
do-
use him on the offensive line.
So does Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
There's a couple things you can't buy. I mean, you can buy the athletes here and there, but with the stipulations that they have, you can't just go out there and say, hey, I want this person. You got a salary cap, you got the draft, you got all this other stuff, and it's hard. It's pretty tough. He needs to get some good general manager. Speaking of which,
They did get Dan Morgan.
former Carolina Panthers, probably one of the best 3 that they've had. I would say Dan Morgan, Kuechly, and Mills, probably. And they've had listen, Thomas. I mean, they've had a couple linebackers that are pretty good, but Dan Morgan's been hanging around that organization for a while.
Yeah.
So hopefully he does some good stuff, but he's only going to be as good as the owner allows him to expand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is.
I keep hearing that Tepper. People keep saying Tepper cares more about soccer than football.
Well,
But I
how'd
don't
that
think-
work out for him either? So,
Yeah, it
listen,
ain't.
I want you to know that Charlotte has no winners.
No, they don't.
the basketball team, they just made a terrible trade, I think. Gave
Yeah.
away a very good basketball player for a #1 draft pick in 2027.
Yeah.
So people in Charlotte don't want to win in 2027. They want to win in 2024.
Well, I don't think that's
25.
happening. That ain't happening.
No, it's not
anytime soon.
happening. And listen, again, I love Michael Jordan. But just because he's the greatest player ever, and he is the greatest
Yeah,
player ever,
I agree.
does not make him a general manager.
No.
Jerry Jones, Tepper, all those folks, they need to get some help.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, Charlotte basketball, soccer, baseball, football, they got nothing.
Yeah. There ain't a winner. In fact, I was watching the news the
The
other
Checkers
day.
are the best team in Charlotte. The
Yeah.
Charlotte Checkers.
Charlotte Checkers. He's
Hockey,
right.
minor league hockey.
He's right.
Is better, and it's a better thing to go watch.
I've never been to a
It is
hockey game.
It is awesome. You can drink beer and you can smash up against the daggum hand and watch them get in a fist fight. Like,
Yeah.
They got cheerleaders. They got everything, man. It's a great show.
John, you ever been to a hockey game?
I have not.
Yeah, maybe we need to put that on our bucket list.
Maybe
I've
we
never
do.
been.
We
I've
should
never-
talk about the Canes now. The Canes
Yeah.
down in
Yeah,
Raleigh
man.
now. That's the only thing winning in Raleigh too.
Yeah,
No
Raleigh,
offense
yeah.
to Wolfpack fans, but
Man, Wolfpack basketball. They said y'all beat them this year already. Hadn't
oh
you?
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
we ain't played them yet, have we?
No.
No.
Okay.
Listen, they're not bad though. I will say that.
Yeah,
But,
they're not
I
bad.
just think that these NFL teams, some of them have a lot more work to do than the Bucks. So I do know that for just because I'm a Bucks fan, I know our offensive coordinator is getting shopped around to a couple different places. I know he interviewed with Carolina for
He's
the
young.
Panthers.
This is y'all first year, ain't he?
Yeah, and the thing I like about him is if you look at the line that we started with and ability and bringing in Baker Mayfield off of what he just came from, I think he put them in a position where they could not worry as much about protection, get rid of the ball quick, try to find some holes, throw it out of the backfield, and try to get the ball downfield.
He had a great year.
NFL comeback player of the year,
Oh, yeah.
by far.
And they already said that they're ready to re-sign him.
Well,
because
wouldn't
they
you for
wanna-
$1 million? He paid him $1.1 million, and because they made the playoffs, he did get a bonus of $1 million. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I agree. Well, John, also we're talking about coaching changes. One thing that ain't going to change is John's Pittsburgh Steelers. Old Mike Tomlin. I tell you what, he's never had a losing season though. He's never. That's unbelievable.
no, but so when you win 5 Super Bowls, there's an expectation.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to have to get back there. And it all starts at their quarterback position.
Yeah.
And they have not been able to fill that void. And, there's a couple things out there, but I love the interview like a week or two ago, maybe the last
He
game.
walked away.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
said,
Yeah, they asked him about his contract, and he just
he walked away.
walked
Yeah,
away.
he's
Yeah.
all business on the field, but I think that one thing he does have is the respect of his players.
Yeah. They do play hard for him. They do play
They
hard.
do
for
play
him.
hard.
John wants to bring back Ben Roethlisberger.
I bet being as big as the daggum
Well,
house right now.
I know T.J. Watt said that he wouldn't if they let Mike Tomlin go. That's the reason he signed his contract, is because he said he would play for nobody
His
but Mike
extension.
Tomlin. And there's a couple others that have said that, and I did see where they are going to offer Tomlin an extension. So
And I'm okay with that. I think people should probably be a little more patient. Probably the head coaches get too much credit when they win and
Yeah.
too much blame when they lose.
Yeah.
But
But I do agree. We probably do need to at least get back to a Super Bowl.
you got to
or at
win.
least win
Listen,
a playoff game.
you got to win.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lions could ride these 2 playoff games that they got for a while.
Yeah.
But I think they can make it to the ship.
Oh yeah, they can.
I
They
mean,
can.
They're well.
I like
all the way
O'Dan
around.
Campbell.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
O'Dan.
He-
Them boys,
he-
hey, them, you talking about players play hard for coaches? They do play hard.
Well,
for
not
Dan
just
Campbell.
that. So forever, nobody would ever go for anything on 4th down. This year, more teams went for
Yeah.
4th downs, and the Lions probably lead the charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was crazy. I mean, now the other night, the Bills,
Yeah.
man, that 4th down they went for, that was a killer. I mean, it was unbelievable, a killer. But
Speaking of Bills, we got one of their biggest fans here, and but the young man works for
the
the
Bears,
Chicago
the
Bears. Yeah. So we're gonna take a small break, and we're gonna talk to
Luke
Luke
Bowe
Bowe.
in
All
the
right.
house.
So catch us on the flip side.
Brooks Barbershop Sports Talk, streaming live every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.